Stories about the Yeti date back thousands of years, with some predating the Buddhist era. Tibetan folklore, particularly among the Sherpa community, describes the Yeti as a cliff-dwelling bear, derived from the Sherpa word Yeti. A Tibetan religious text from the 12th century, the Mani Kabum, details a myth connecting humans to Yetis. It narrates how a bodhisattva monkey, sent by the gods for meditation, was approached by a demoness, Shrimo. Threatened by her intent to produce monstrous offspring, the monkey agreed to marry her, resulting in 6 hybrid monkey-human children. Over generations, these hybrids evolved into humans, while one lineage gave rise to the Yetis, an intriguing connection between humans and this mysterious creature. The first widely publicized Yeti encounter occurred in 1951, when British mountaineers Eric Shipton and Michael Ward discovered 13-inch-long footprints resembling oversized human feet while exploring the Menlung Glacier near Everest. Shipton's iconic photograph of the footprint sparked global curiosity, prompting numerous expeditions to the Himalayas in search of the elusive creature. Earlier, in 1937, 7 expeditions reported finding footprints, and 2 even claimed to have seen a Yeti. These events, combined with ancient stories and sightings, led to growing belief in the creature's existence. Accounts from witnesses describe the Yeti as a towering ape-like figure, standing 7 to 8 feet tall and weighing 90 to 180 kilograms. Covered in reddish-brown or gray-black fur, the Yeti possesses a powerful chest, long arms, and a face that remains mostly uncovered. Bhutanese locals claim it moves on 2 legs, uses its arms to swing between trees, and often wields large rocks as weapons. Its distinct odor and eerie whistling sounds add to its mystique. In 2008, a chilling incident occurred in Arunachal Pradesh, India. At an altitude of 12,000 feet, a laborer working near a military camp failed to return from a market trip. The next day, his body was found seated in an unnatural position, with a broken neck, but no visible injuries or signs of struggle. Locals attributed the death to a Yeti. Investigators discovered a strand of hair and an unusual footprint at the site. The hair's DNA analysis revealed it belonged to no known species. In 2019, the Indian Army claimed to have discovered footprints matching the Yeti's description. Photographs of the tracks were shared for scientific analysis, further fueling the mystery. The belief in Yetis transcended local folklore when Nepal and the United States introduced regulations concerning the creature. Explorer Tom Slick theorized in the mid-20th century that there were 3 types of Yetis, 1 supernatural and 2 potentially real. However, he faced skepticism when events in 1986 caused him to doubt his conclusions. DNA analysis of purported Yeti samples has often identified them as belonging to bears or other animals, yet some cases defy classification. Scientists suggest that Yetis may be misidentified Himalayan wildlife or undiscovered species adapted to high-altitude environments. The Yeti, a figure of mystery and legend, has been a part of Himalayan folklore for thousands of years, with some stories predating the Buddhist era. In certain Himalayan societies, the Yeti was revered and even incorporated into religious rituals. According to the 1978 publication Himalayan Anthropology, parts of the Yeti were believed to have been used in Tibetan magical and religious ceremonies. Historical fascination with the Yeti dates back to ancient times. When Alexander the Great conquered parts of India in 326 BCE, he demanded to see a Yeti. Locals, however, told him the creature could not survive at lower altitudes. The first modern documented case of a Yeti-like creature emerged in 1832, when British naturalist Brian Houghton Hodgson wrote about encountering a large, non-human ape-like creature covered in long black hair. He described it as resembling an orangutan. In 1889, British Army physician Major L.A. Waddell reported finding large footprints in the Himalayan glaciers. These prints, resembling those of a monkey-human hybrid, led to speculation about an unknown creature. The term abominable snowman emerged in 1921 during a Mount Everest expedition led by Charles Howard Berry. His team found large footprints, which local guides attributed to the Meto Kangmi, translated as man-bear snowman. However, a journalist mistranslated Meto as filthy, and the term evolved into abominable snowman. By 1937, reports of the Yeti surged. British explorer H.W. Tillman discovered Yeti-like footprints on the Zemu Glacier, and British Army officer John Hunt found similar prints at 19,000 feet. That same year, 7 expeditions reported Yeti evidence, with 2 claiming to have seen the creature. Western fascination intensified when rumors circulated that Tibetan monasteries preserved Yeti relics, such as skulls and hands. However, Nepal's restricted access under the Rana dynasty limited exploration. This changed in 1951 when Nepal opened its borders to foreigners, sparking renewed interest. In 1951, renowned mountaineer Eric Shipton photographed 13-inch footprints in the snow during an Everest expedition. This image, widely publicized, reignited global curiosity about the Yeti. In 1953, the British newspaper Daily Mail organized an expedition, spending the equivalent of $1.35 million in today's terms. The team investigated claims of a Yeti skull in the Pangboche Monastery and collected hair samples. Analysis revealed the hair did not match any known species, but definitive proof remained elusive. American oil millionaire Tom Slick funded multiple Yeti expeditions between 1957 and 1959. His teams found footprints, hair samples, and even a mummified hand. Slick hypothesized that there were 3 types of Yetis, 2 real and 1 supernatural. Tragically, his untimely death in a plane crash left his findings unpublished. In response to the growing Yeti craze, the Nepalese and American governments established regulations in 1959. These included a permit fee of 55,000 Indian rupees for expeditions, a prohibition on killing the Yeti except in self-defense, and mandatory reporting of findings to Nepalese authorities before releasing them to the press. Byrne led 5 expeditions over 38 months in the Himalayas. During one visit to the Pangboche Monastery, he obtained a finger from a supposed Yeti hand in exchange for donations. Smuggling the finger to London with the help of actor James Stewart, who hid it in his wife's lingerie bag, Byrne had it analyzed. The results revealed the finger was human, not from a Yeti. Initially a skeptic, Messner reported a direct encounter with a large, upright black creature in 1986 while traversing a Tibetan path. Convinced by the experience, he spent 12 years researching the Yeti. His findings suggested the Yeti was not a mythical snowman, but likely a Himalayan brown bear. Taylor focused his search on Nepal's Barun Valley, a densely forested region with heavy rainfall. Advised by Nepalese royalty, Taylor's efforts culminated in his book Yeti, The Ecology of a Mystery. Despite decades of exploration and investigation, the Yeti remains an enigma. DNA analysis of supposed Yeti samples often points to known animals, such as bears, but some findings defy explanation. Is the Yeti a misidentified animal, an undiscovered species, or simply a myth passed down through generations? The mystery of the Yeti continues to captivate the imagination, standing as a symbol of the unexplored and unknown, urging humanity to keep seeking answers. The Yeti, often depicted as a mythical snowman of the Himalayas, has captivated human imagination for centuries. However, scientific investigations and modern research suggest that many Yeti sightings and evidence can be attributed to more familiar creatures, particularly bears. One of the most compelling pieces of alleged Yeti evidence has been large footprints found in the snow. During their investigations, researchers discovered that these prints often belong to a species of bear known locally as the tree bear. They noted distinctive claw marks in the footprints, features not associated with hominoids. This observation led them to conclude that these prints were from an animal, not a Yeti. To confirm this, researchers collected hair samples from nests believed to be inhabited by the Yeti. DNA analysis revealed the truth. The hair belonged to a rare species of bear. The anatomy of bears further clarified the mystery of the footprints. Bears often place their hind legs in the same spot as their forelegs while walking, creating an illusion of bipedal movement. The overlapping footprints, when misaligned, appear larger, sometimes up to 12 inches in length. Eric Shipton's famous 1951 photograph of a supposed Yeti footprint was also re-examined. While the first photo made headlines, a second, less publicized photo clearly showed bear prints. Researchers explained that when bears climb trees, their cubs press their inner toes into the snow, creating thumb-like impressions that resemble human footprints. In 1939, German zoologist Ernst Schaefer, during a Nazi-sponsored expedition in Tibet, investigated claims of a Yeti sighting. Locals identified a creature as a Yeti, which Schaefer shot. He later identified it as a Tibetan bear. Before his death in 1992, Schaefer wrote to renowned mountaineer Reinhold Messner, affirming that the Yeti was a bear. Even Sir Edmund Hillary, the first person to summit Mount Everest, dedicated months to searching for the Yeti. His conclusion? The Yeti was a myth fueled by superstition. In 2014, geneticist Brian Sykes from Oxford University conducted DNA analysis on over 30 hair samples from the Himalayan region. While most samples matched known species like bears or horses, 2 samples initially seemed to belong to an unknown species. However, further analysis identified them as belonging to a rare subspecies of the Himalayan brown bear. In 2017, another study analyzed DNA from 9 alleged Yeti samples, including hair, teeth, and bones. 8 were found to belong to Asian black bears, Himalayan brown bears, or Tibetan brown bears, while the 9th sample came from a dog. The Arunachal Pradesh incident, where a laborer was allegedly attacked by a Yeti, also unraveled under scrutiny. BBC journalists Andrew Benfield and Richard Horsey found that the official police report cited the cause of death as unknown, with no mention of a Yeti or footprints. A supposed hair sample from the site turned out to be plant fiber. In an age where smartphones are ubiquitous, the absence of credible Yeti photographs raises questions about its existence. The Yeti legend, like many other myths, appears to be rooted in cultural and societal beliefs passed down through generations. Over time, these stories evolved into folklore, making them difficult to disprove. Rather than pursuing myths like the Yeti, researchers suggest focusing on preserving endangered species in the Himalayan region, such as the snow leopard, which faces threats from climate change and habitat loss. Only about 4,000 snow leopards remain, making conservation efforts critical. Despite the mystery surrounding the Yeti, the natural world continues. In 2020, scientists discovered the Popa langur, a new species of monkey in Myanmar, with fewer than 200 individuals remaining. In 2023, a new species of legless lizard called a skink was found in Angola. In 2014, researchers discovered a glowing mollusk in the deep ocean's midnight zone. The closest known animal to the mythical Yeti is Gigantopithecus, a 10-foot-tall ape that lived between 2 million and 200,000 years ago. Fossils of this extinct creature were discovered near the Himalayas, and early humans may have encountered it. Stories of these interactions could have evolved into the Yeti legend. The enduring allure of the Yeti speaks to humanity's fascination with the unknown. However, modern science has revealed that much of the evidence supporting the Yeti's existence can be traced to known animals like bears. Instead of chasing myths, we should turn our attention to protecting the unique and endangered species that still inhabit our world. These real-life treasures are far more remarkable than any legend.